He's already done that.
Yeah, we are live.
So, in a recap, I'm going to take all of their stuff because it's theirs now.
Yes.
I will share the bras out amongst the group. I don't know how much one is, so they could be incredibly valuable.
Well, if it does get cold again, you always use them as ear warmers, can't you?
Oh, I'll use them as earworms on a night.
I'm saying now, Crodan, as in weird science.
Yeah. I can do that.
Right, you take all of their stuff, everybody pulls together, and
Oh, it's that kind of party, is it?
it is. Everybody pulls together, and the murderers are revealed. So basically, the mood immediately begins to lift in the caravan, and they pack everything up, and you move on towards Dwarf Knoll. Unless there's anything else you wish to do, or anyone you need to talk to.
Don't think so.
Did these women hang around with anyone a lot?
They
From outside the group.
They generally seem to be hanging around with everybody. They were going around the group. They were chatting to everybody. They were always laughing and smiling.
They never did that to us. I'll turn around to McLovin and go, you scared them off. That's what it was. That's how we can never get lucky. You're so unapproachable. I'll start eating a sausage.
I love another sausage. Right, so the caravan proceeds on towards Dwarf Knoll, camps overnight. Everybody sets up watch. The normal amount of preparation takes place, and you get up in the morning as it passes without incident for the first night, and there's no murders. Hooray!
So
if someone wants to pay us, I can hunt them women down and murder and bring them to justice.
So it's just going to shop your services around. It's a brutal murderer.
A bringer of justice.
Oh, right, I see. Right, well, the mood in the caravan is much improved since nobody's been killed. And so you push on. Nothing happens the rest of the day, and you arrive at Dwarf Knoll towards evening. Now, Dwarf Knoll is a small oasis town that is at the bottom of several low breaks because there's a fierce westerly wind and it shelters them. There's 4 of these hills that surround the oasis. On top of the largest one, there's a large statue of a dwarf. It's old and weathered. It's like got no face features, but you're talking it's like maybe 25-30 feet high.
That's a big dwarf.
And basically, the leader of the Oasis people, as you've been to a couple of the Oasis now, there's generally a small town, comes out to meet you and follows him. He is covered head to foot in tattoos. A lot of them you don't even recognise as any kind of runes or things like that.
A purveyor of the tattoo.
And
I can respect.
He has a massive stasis rune on his chin. Stasis rune square is a square basically.
Yeah.
Right, he shouts to his men, we have visitors. You need to go and collect some dates. And 2 of his hot oars run off. Tvalisim says to you, okay, it's a little strange being at Dwarf Knoll. And now that you approach it, you see there's an enormous mine carved into the side of one of the hills, like where the town is, and it slopes down like an enormous mine that runs underneath this statue of the dwarf. He said this used to be a Mostali fortress, and they used to mine copper out of here. You see the remains of what looks like old railroad tracks running down into this thing.
What's a railroad?
Well, you know what a railroad is, but there's these weird planks with metal strips running over them.
Well, that's proper strange.
Uh,
I've met a dwarf before. They're not normal like us and the duck. They're weird. I'll say this in all seriousness to the Caravan Master.
he says, yeah, I've got many just dealings with the Mostali. Yeah, they can be a little strange. He says, except for the open-handed ones. The open-handed ones, they're okay. They're just like me or you.
But shorter, I would think.
Much shorter.
Yeah, that's how I noticed them. Obviously, without the feathers. If they had feathers, then yeah.
Across the front of this gigantic mine, there is like wooden stockade doors made out of like palm tree trunks that have been constructed to go across the front so that they can be enclosed. And it's quite scrubby here. I mean, I know you're on the verge of the edge of the good place, but it is pretty clear of vegetation other than the actual oasis itself. So Ogle comes over and he speaks to Dwalasim, who requires an insight check from you all.
Ooh.
Can you do mine for us?
I certainly can.
Ta.
Wow.
Hey up. That never happens.
Wow.
Right. You're just standing there picking your nose, admiring this like one dwarf statue. Andy, you notice that the head of the caravan looks rather concerned after speaking to this guy.
Right. I shall very quietly try and convey this information to the rest of our party, because I cannot work out why he should look concerned. I mean, surely he does this all the time, backwards and forwards along this road.
That's a good point.
Is there something going on that we don't know about?
Should I inquire subtly if there's something on?
You shout at the top of your lungs, "Oi, is there something the matter?"
Is there something wrong? What's wrong with your face? I'll like sidle over to him and go, you look like you've shut your pants. What's up?
Well, he does. He comes back to you, and he says, "Right." He says, "We normally pay. Like you can see, it's quite bad, blasted here by the wind and the weather. We normally pay for the caravans to stay inside the dwarf mine, and it's normally 2 lunars a person, for which I have put aside the funds." He said, "But for some reason, this time they've put it up to 15 lunars per person, and I just can't pay that." He says, "We're welcome to camp outside of the mine, but I mean, I can pay the 2 lunars if you want to subsidise to sleep inside, but I got the sheer profit loss from this."
Do you want me to try and persuade him? How many of them is there?
There's only about 2 dozen that live in this oasis. They're all covered in stasis runes. Stasis runes is the big dwarf rune, obviously, and
the dwarf groupies.
They're humans, but they are covered in stasis runes, which is unusual, to be honest.
I'll go and do some talking. I'm good at this.
But while you're on, say if they've got a blacksmith.
A redsmith.
Well, aye, whatever.
Right, I'll be back. I'll go over to the guy. Excuse me, Chin Man.
He says, hello, I'm Mogul.
I like your tattoos. Very good. Very straight. I'll show him some of my tattoos.
Which is not so straight. He goes, yours are very curvy.
Yes. How come it costs so much to put the caravan inside all of a sudden?
He says, it's a rising cost of living. We have to put the price up because all of the...
That's a lot though, isn't it? Like, it's like about 20 times or something.
About 20 times. You don't do maths, do you?
No. One too many. Isn't there something we could do to maybe ameliorate the price into a more acceptable remunerative amount?
He said, okay,
Do you want anybody killing? Because we're quite good at that.
No killing here. He says, it's a quiet place.
All right.
Right, give us an insight roll, Earl.
Oh, this is such a bad idea.
Yeah. It really is.
Yep, I know exactly what he's on about.
Yeah, it's a quiet place around here. Right, so you can give me an opposed bargaining test. This will be fun.
I'm brilliant at this as well.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Well
Wow.
done, that man.
Right.
My bargain is basically,
Wow.
hi, we like killing people.
$21. So he has succeeded, but you got a special. So he'll knock it down to 12 lunars per person.
That's still a lot, though. I mean,
Well,
is it?
You're welcome to sleep outside. We bring water for the cattle, we feed them, we brush them.
Is there anything that particularly happened to make this remunerative increase so rapid since my mate there's last year? Not being attacked by werewolves or anything?
That would be an intrigue. Give me an intrigue, girl.
I'm really good at this as well. I am intriguing. Or giants. It could be giants. Is it a giant?
He says, no.
The statue come to life and kill people during the night.
No, the statue does not come to life.
It's not women! Murderous women, because we've just had some of them. Is it going around?
He said, no, it's just there's a bad storm due, and it's what we charge to look after the cattle. And
Right, then. So 10, you said, right? I'll go and tell the lad. I
thought you said 12.
No, I'm sure you said 10. Was it 10 on? Did you say 8?
10. Okay, it was 10.
It was 10. Yes, that sounded like 10. I'm not very good with numbers. I'll go and see the guy. He said 10.
He said that's great. But
I'm very good at bargaining.
He says,
it's still a lot of money.
I'll pay the 2 lunars if people want to come outside for free, then that's fine. But if you want to pay the extra to come inside and sleep with the cows, then obviously that's fine too.
Right. I'll pay for us lot to go and sleep with the cows.
That's jolly decent of you. Can I not just curl up in the corner?
Well, we will. We'll curl up in the corner near the cows where it's warm.
Better than sleeping with the fishes.
Yeah.
Right. So Valisim goes around, he tells everybody, there's a few miserable faces, there's like this bloody caravan, I joined this caravan, I don't know what the hell I'm going to for. And these massive...
I'll pay for Fafford, the Grey Mouser, and Big Bear Dude as well.
And Big Bear Dude. You're just throwing your money about. You're like, here, take this trade stick, just chop a bit off the end.
What a giver.
Right, okay, so the big wooden gates are dragged open by these Oasis people. Then Ogle stands and chants. His men bring him a big bag of dates. He sits down in front of all of the cows and he separates the dates into 3 piles. Okay, and he sits there, and this takes about 5 minutes. He settles them into 3 piles. Then he scoops up 2 of the piles, puts them back in the bag, and ties it back to his belt. And then he takes the other third, he wraps them up in a piece of cloth, ties a cloth, and he walks to the entrance to the giant dwarf mine, says something that you don't hear, and then he throws the bag of dates into the mine. It then comes over and says, you can go in now. All of the Oasis folk come out with sticks, cudgel-sized sticks. They start leading all of the wagons and the thingy. The Oasis folk walk behind them and bang the footsteps where everybody was walking with these sticks, and they follow behind the caravan until they're all led inside.
There's gonna be somewhat with lots of teeth in here.
Probably.
I think it's got sausages.
Right, you get inside, you can see that it's a gigantic, like I said, it's a gigantic mining cave. The walls have beams in the rock. They're not like separate like human mine workings are. They seem to be into the rock somehow. And the cave leads further and further back. It gets smaller and the roof gets lower, and then there's a gigantic like rock, perfectly smooth rock wall at the back. It looks exactly the same as the stone that the cave's made of, except it's perfectly smooth in a giant square section.
Door.
That looks like a door to me.
Yeah. Rich, can we have some sort of law roll or something, if there is something we'll roll on, to see if we can work out or know what these guys were doing? You know, when they were leading us in there. You
could try asking them. It did seem to be some kind of ritual to perform.
Huh.
You could
sacrifice.
Ogle says, none of you saw the Empire Strike Back, right? No, with the Millennium Falcon, none of you? No, good, just go in there, it's fine. So yeah, you can make a local law roll, homeland law roll, which I use as like Glorantha law, if you like.
Go.
So close, yet so far.
Oh, I know all about this.
Wow, I see we're keeping up with the rules as
Oh yeah, this is going to go exactly like it did last time, where we just didn't make any rolls and we extended it out far longer than it needed to be. Because that's how we roll.
Chindok.
Aye?
What were you banging on the sticks for?
He says, it is to appease the cave, because the cave gets hungry and we don't want it to eat people when they stay here for safety.
Good to know.
Right.
Well, we'll just be going to bed now.
Right, you can... It's not something you really would have heard of, to be honest, other than you know that Dwarf Knoll's called that because there used to be a Dwarf copper mine there, but you've never been here. You don't know anybody that comes this way.
I will be doing my clan ritual prior to sleeping. I hope that doesn't upset anyone. The ritual where I spread flour around the end of a cave if I'm sleeping in it.
Okay, you do that.
And where one of us has to stare at the flower all night. But before they wake another one person up who then stares at the flower. I think we all know this ritual. It's called the not being stabbed to death in our sleep ritual. We all with it.
Right, so unless you want to do anything else, it's starting to get dark. The Oasis folk will you see them go and lock all of their houses, all of their huts, and then they come inside the dwarf mine, and the gigantic wooden palm tree doors are pulled in place, and they're lashed securely with lots and lots of ropes. And he says, "See, everything's fine. The cave is not hungry."
Yeah, this is how fine always starts for us.
Yeah, the fact that someone has to point out that the cave is not hungry, in fact, just states that the cave's really, really hungry.
I'm going to have a wander at the back of the cave at this flat bit that looks like a door.
All right, see you later. I'll be the first one to feed it.
Try not to stand on the flower.
Right, it doesn't look pink like a tongue at all.
Does it look like a
That's
tongue?
the first thing you notice, is that it doesn't look anything like a tongue. No, it's exactly as if the rock, the rock is sandpapered smooth, like glass smooth. There's no features on it, and it's a gigantic perfect square. Like easily you'll get 5 wagons abreast if this is indeed a door through it. Right, you start walking over, and the Oasis folk goes, "No, sir, don't mess with that."
And why not?
Because it eats people.
Because it will make the cave angry.
Let's not make the giant cave angry.
Okay, I'll do it later when everybody's asleep.
You're not meant to say that out loud.
I didn't. That's
all
just...
right. Okay. That's the way I do things. You're supposed to sleep.
Right. Okay. So night falls. Do you post watch? These gates are secure.
Oh yes. Oh, I'm posting watch because we're in a cave that eats people.
Yeah,
no, you're in a cave that doesn't eat people. They've told you it's definitely not hungry.
Not eating
Well,
people
it's not
today.
hungry. Yeah.
What happens if it gets up during the night for a snack?
It's just
let's have a look around in myself and see what there is to eat. Oh, look, there's a tasty sausage-laden chap. No way.
Right, so are you taking turns doing a watch? Are you all sleeping?
Yes.
It's basically going to take a crowbar and try and smash open a dwarf door at the
No,
end.
no, I'm just going to have a inspect it. I'm just going to have a look at it, see if it is a door.
Right, well, make a sneaky roll, please.
I'll resist the urge to go dun 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 as he sneaks up. Dun 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 dun.
Oh, look at that, man. Right, you silently sneak over to the door. You run your fingers over it. It feels cool. It doesn't resemble a tongue in any way. It's a giant glass smooth square piece of stone, but there's no join. It doesn't look you can't run your fingers around it. There's no join. It's as if the cave wall had literally just suddenly turned into this thing. It's absolutely incredible. You've never seen any kind of stonework like it before. There's no keyholes or anything like that. So what would you want to do? I take out a hammer and I start smashing it off.
what's the floor of the cave? Is it like sand or?
No, it's rock. It's an actual mine. The old mine tracks run 2 sets. You don't know what they are. You know there's planks of wood with bits of metal over them. Run straight up to this door, like side by side.
Okay.
But it's weird because it looks like they should go through the door, but there's no hole for them to go through the door. They just kind of blend in somehow. It's like dwarf magic-y stuff.
I don't think I'm going to stop poking around.
You see, like, what maybe old, like, wooden mining shacks kind of things. There's nothing really there now, but just like the outline, and you'll see the odd mark in the rock where they've like secured them or whatever. There's the odd outcropping that looks as if, like where you would make a nail to hang a picture on or to hang a shelf. Somehow the rock's like into that kind of shape, but it's smooth. It's not a piece that's driven in. It's not glued on. It's as if the rock's been reshaped to become a hanger or a shelf or whatever.
Crazy.
No, I don't think I'm going to stop poking around with this.
You have a crowbar in your inventory. I know you do. No, I'm just teasing. No, everybody said don't mess with the dwarf stuff. Even Earl has went, nah, don't mess with the dwarf stuff.
No, I'll go back. I'm not going to stop.
Thank you for not getting us killed.
On the way back, however.
No.
Can I just know? Do we have a pig corner in here?
I saw that.
Right, okay. So the night passes uneventfully. The wind whistles, or is it stone above you that's creaking? It's really loud. Can you each please make me a listen roll?
We can't hear anyone singing. Come.
Yeah, me that.
I see this is how this is going to go.
Hi ho.
Right, so each of you that made your rolls, you take turns. Doing your guard duty. When you make your listen roll, you hear a strange click clack noise from outside. You are certain that you heard some scraping, as if something was trying to get into the huts outside, maybe, or but it's this weird, unnatural clicky clacky noise that you hear moving around the outside of the big palm fence with the sharpened top.
Is Squirching awake?
No, he's asleep in the corner.
Are any of them awake?
Oh yeah, they've got some awake.
I'll go over to one of the sentries and go, so, what's the lad who's going round outside called?
He said, oh, it's just the desert winds.
Oh, right. So we can go out then?
No, not until the morning.
Well, why is that then?
Because the gates are locked now.
All right.
I say locked, tied up.
From the wind. From the wind, like.
Oh yeah.
So the wind doesn't eat you.
Yeah.
Okay then. That's sorted.
It's just one short climb roll for being over this giant gate well.
Yeah, but I'm not going to do that because it'll get me killed.
Right. So the night passes. The rest of the night passes uneventfully. Several of you have heard this noise. Obviously, whether you discuss it over breakfast, like, do you hear that weird clicky clacky noise? Yeah. And then the gates are dragged open, and the caravan prepares to depart.
I'll count us in and count us out, which doesn't take long. 4, more. all here.
Everybody's here. Now what happens is absolutely nothing. The caravan gets back together. Everybody packs up. The monies are paid. You get fresh water. You get extra dates and things like that to eat. And you push on towards where the caravan connects with the Royal Lunar Road.
Right, that would be good.
Right, so you almost reach the Lunar Road, and Elle goes, "Why didn't I just try tracker when I got out there? I'm a tracker, for God's sake."
No, I know that. I just didn't want to know.
Elle just doesn't want to know about stuff. So
Because if I know about stuff, I'll interfere with it, and then it all goes wrong. And we know what happens.
what kind of tracks does a giant hungry cave make?
I wonder if anyone's ever hunted a cave. Oh!
Elle goes, "I twang dunk." Okay, this is not going to work really well. Right. Okay, can you all please give me scan rolls? You're crossing the last part of the scrubland of Prax, and you've almost reached the Imperial Road.
I was going to cave its head in. Get it? Cave its head in.
Oh, God.
Good one.
It's the way I tell him.
Right. So, MC Lovin, Ryan, why are you rolling on the wrong character?
Oh no, I am.
Right, so your
Hey.
so your other character who you made first sidles up to your current character, whispers, "I've seen something out on the plain," and you go, "Alrighty, right, yes, McLovin, ahead of you, in the distance, it's flat prairie basically with tumbleweeds. It's the old west. You see kind of a darker lump lying in the middle of the track that you're following.
Roughly how far away?
About a third of a mile.
Okay.
I've always been a great believer in letting sleeping lumps lie.
I'm a big believer in that.
I'll let everybody know.
You should be careful not to include all lumps in one. You keep your lumps separated.
Okay.
We're not on horses, are we?
Don't want to lump them together.
Right. So it's kind of in the direction where the caravan's going to pass anyway. So Dwarf says, "You tell everybody." Dwarf says, "Right, well, get out there and have a look at it then."
Okey-doke. Come on then, let's have a jog.
Yeah, well then.
I'll look after me, Alan.
Right, are you leaving Alan and Bobbin at the caravan?
Yeah.
Right.
Shield out, axe out.
You move closer. When you get close enough, maybe 30-40 metres away, you see it is some sort of creature. It has big feathered wings. One is lying at a strange angle. You can see it from behind. It's got the body of a lion. It's lying perfectly still. And then one wing just sort of like twitches.
Food. I want us to know if I know what this is.
Yeah. Animal law.
You can give me an animal law.
It's a cow.
Oh, milk. Go and milk it.
Are we all having animal laws? Andy, can you do yours yet? Or
No, I can't, because I cannot find the thing on here where I can do it.
You're
myself.
terrible at it. Right, you're not familiar with this kind of animal.
Wait a minute. Can I check to see if it's elder race?
Yeah, I'm not even gonna try. I'm like awful at it.
I made the elder race law.
You can, yes. It appears to be a griffin or a hippogriff. You can't really tell from behind.
Right.
Which way's the wind blowing?
Is the back bit a horse?
No,
or a lion?
It's a lion.
Then it's a griffin. I went to hunting school and they said the back bit's the bit you check.
Yeah, hunting school. Right.
I've got this, guys. What could possibly go wrong?
Which way's the wind blowing, Richie? Is it behind us blowing towards us or coming from the beast to us?
From left to right. So
how far away were we?
About 30-40 metres.
If this thing hasn't seen or heard us, it's deaf. Because they're really good at seeing things, I think. Is it looking at us?
No, you can only see it from the back. Like I said, it's lying down in a heap. One of its wings is like twisted at a weird angle, and the one that's on the top sort of twitched and then it's like laced it again.
Right. If it tries to kill me, will you rescue it?
Of course we will.
Sure.
Right. I'm casting protection all on myself. How much?
All. Good job.
All of the protections.
All of them. I'm going to cast mobility, and then I'm going to cast protection. I can't. Where's my protection for? I'm going to cast protection. So this goes pear-shaped. I want to A, run away, and B, not get eaten.
Right. You cast all of the protections.
Right. I put away my weapons and sort of slowly walk around so that I enter its peripheral side vision.
Right. It's lying with its gigantic eagle head. Is lying on the floor. Its eyes are closed. You can just see that its chest is rising and falling very, very slightly.
Oh, this is such a bad idea. I will slowly, carefully, but not sneakily walk towards.
Right.
I'll tell Dag Dag, go and stand with the others, because this could go all horribly wrong.
Okay, Dag kind of whines, looks weird, looks at the gigantic griffin, terrified, and then goes back to the others.
I'd love to hunt it, but I'm
I'll
not.
keep your character safe, don't worry.
Thank you very much. How did you know I was going to play Dag?
Same 5 minutes.
But the way I see it is, I'd like to kill this thing, but only if I hunted it. Like, letting it die is pretty bad, and it kind of goes against everything I believe in, so I'm probably going to have to do something. Because if not, someone's going to shoot it, because it's probably worth some money. So I'll cautiously move towards it, and I'll get to it in about 10 feet.
Right.
What I consider out of lunge and eat with my giant beak distance.
Right. You get within 10 feet. It hasn't moved. You see its razor sharp beak that looks like it would cut rocks in two. You see that there are several arrows stuck in its side, and it's bled quite profusely.
Oh, I am annoyed. Can I roll on my respect the hunt?
Yes, you can. You absolutely can, sir.
I'm just trying to find it, because I don't know where any of that is on this sheet.
You will respect my authority. It's a passion. It's a passion under main, and then right underneath your characteristic is passions.
I can't find them.
Right.
Power.
Yeah. Power, Dex, Charisma. Scroll down a little bit.
Oh, passions. Family, honor the hunt.
Right. So you have you can tick your passion, and you have a bonus of 20% to rolls involving honouring the hunt with this encounter.
I'll say, hello? Can you hear me?
You've got its head raises a tiny bit, its eye does nothing, and it goes, ah, that hurts.
I'll take that as a yes then. I'm going to try and fix you, but you've got to promise not to eat us while I'm doing it. Right. Yeah? No eaty fixie man.
It says in trade tongue, yes.
Right, I'll walk over.
He's talking.
How many?
It's a idea. Continue.
How many arrows are in it?
There are 3 black fletched arrows in it. You
Right,
can
I'm going to have
a bow roll. You roll your bow skill.
Can I cast speed dart? Sorry.
You can't speed on you, but
Yeah, made it.
right. They are very primitive arrows. They look like they are covered in filth. The shafts are covered in filth that's sticking out. You guess that they were probably brew arrows, maybe from that group of brew you fought a while ago.
Right, I will put my gloves on. And I'll say to him, I'm going to have to draw this arrow and it is going to really hurt. And you are probably going to make a lot of noise, but part of the noise will not be you crunching down on my leg, all right? And I will carefully and slowly draw out the arrows, taking as much time as it needs.
Right, well,
I am not going to tell.
Have a first aid roll with your 20% bonus, if you like.
I'm going to kill this thing by doing this. You do know that, right?
Yeah.
Because I am so good at first.
Don't fumble. Don't.
Oh, you know that's begging for a fumble, right? Oh, I can't find first aid. Cannot just...
I just get an axe and
Knowledge.
cut them out.
Oops.
It's a fail, but I didn't fumble.
It's a fail, you didn't fumble. Right, so you do manage to pull the arrow out, but it starts to bleed. It didn't come out clean. This black... this, like,
I'll take a
black
sniff.
discoloration around it. It does smell disgusting.
Right, pull the next one out.
Right, the one you've pulled out continues to bleed, Earl.
Oh, this one was good. And yeah, I got the next one out. I'm going to leave that one bleeding. Don't worry, I'll fix it in a minute.
Right, you pull the next arrow out, and that comes out clean, and you manage to get that out without. It doesn't look like it's hit anything vital, so it's not bleeding a lot.
And the last one. Missed it by 2.
Right, like I said, you get the arrow out, but it is bleeding, and it looks. The Griffin's head flops. It goes completely limp.
Treat poison, maybe? Or is it an infection?
It's not that. It just looks like it's took massive, overwhelming trauma.
3 points of heal body.
I was going to say, will heal work on this?
I'll put 3 points of heal, 1 point of heal wound in each wound. Rune magic.
You're going to rune magic it up. Ooh,
yeah.
Ooh. Okay then. Give me an air rune.
Will I get?
Sorry,
will I?
Whichever rune is
I will use my harmony rune.
Harmony rune, and you can.
And I'll get me bonus to it.
You do. You get an extra 20%. Right. Right. You cast your healing magic. The wounds heal up. There's a great intake of breath. This thing rolls over. You see Earl disappear behind the Griffin as it rolls over onto its legs and paws.
Not under.
No.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Basically, they're standing back. You disappear from sight. Right. It opens its eyes and it goes coughs out a great clot of blood. It says, thank you so much. Brew in the hills.
Yeah, we killed him. Was it back that way? And I'll point the way we came from.
Yes.
Yeah, they were trying to ambush her, but we murdered them to death.
He says,
you should look out for little women on their own dancing, because they're fucking evil as well.
It says, thank you, stranger. My name's Learo.
I'm Crodan. And them's the lads, and I'll point. And all these like desperate looking blokes who look like ready to charge in with swords. Them's the lad.
Right, so he turns round. One of his wings still drags along the ground.
I can fix that for you. I'll stick 6 points through my 2-point matrix. So I'll do 3 things of healing. I'm good at this healing, Ark. I'm like a doctor, but I don't know what I'm doing.
Right, you heal the Griffin. His wing snaps back into place with a sickening crack. He then flexes it. He's like, "Oh, that hurt so much."
Yeah, you looked a bit fecked like.
He said, thank you, Caravan. I owe you a debt of gratitude."
Well, and I don't worry. I'm sure at some point I'll probably ask for a tiny favour in return, possibly dropping a small child over a small city. But it's a long story. We'll get onto it later on. So, have you eaten?
Not for several days.
Oh, what do you eat?
Meat usually.
Right. Got a sausage. I'll hand him a sausage.
Right. He hasn't got hands. He sort of gently, you know the way a parrot does with his beak. He just gently like tries to take it out of your hand without taking your finger off with his.
I've only got 3 of them. You could probably like find, a person or something. I don't know if there's anything particularly useful in the caravan you can eat. How many prisoners are we? Oh, don't eat the baboons. One of them's our friend.
Right. Okay, this gigantic Griffin pads over towards the rest of you with Caravan, who seems to be feeding it a sausage. You haven't heard it speaking yet, but as it gets closer, it says, "Well met, friends."
Oh, I'll introduce everyone. That's McLovin. That's Feckin' Dag. That's dead guy. Kane. Yes, that's him. And
Dead
the handsome guy. Yeah, dead murdery face person. And then for some reason I can't find Andy's character.
Quacktavish.
Yeah, you're not there on the list of characters for me for some reason. And this is Sir Quacktavish.
I got dead guy and he got Sir Quacktavish.
He is a noble.
But I'm not dead.
Right, yeah, but you make everything dead. Well, that's that sorted then. I'll get rid of the arrows. By the way, I'll not leave them. I'll bury them. I'm going to really, really, really hurt the next brew. I mean, it wouldn't have been so bad if they'd have killed him. But you kind of gone around just hurting people. That's just rude.
Right. Well, first, Andy should be in your journal now.
Yes, he is. What was the name of the bird guy?
The bird guy is Liaro.
I like how you go along with him called the bird guy and just read off bird guy.
Bird guy. Right. He comes back to the caravan. He says, "I'll happily come with you and scout from the air if that's
that's great. We should be done in a couple of days. Do you live around here?"
He says, "I live in the middle sky, so I go everywhere."
Oh, that's handy. What are the shops like?
In the middle sky, there's not many shops, unfortunately.
Oh, quite hard to get sausages then.
He says, "I have not had a sausage before."
Pretty good, isn't it?
It's some kind of meat, isn't it? I'm not sure what kind of meat.
Oh, no. You never ask what the meat is. No. You never ask what the meat is. You just enjoy the taste. It's somewhat of my philosophy of life. Life is like a sausage. It's full of gristle and bits, and the skin's a bit funny, and sometimes it's got mould on the outside. But if you're hungry enough, you'll have a bite.
Wise words, Croden. Right,
I have no idea. Like, it's just constant face
Oh!
palm.
Do you want to
And
meet
he
me son? Me son will love you. I'll go and get Alan. Alan! Alan!
Alan comes running over. He looks a little perturbed.
That's me mate. He's called Liaro. That's me son, Alan.
He says, "Hello, Alan." And Alan's like, "Ooh." He runs over and he says, "Would you let me sit on me back?"
Yeah, who? To Alan?
Yeah.
I'll lift Alan up onto the Griffin's back.
Right.
Oh,
I don't care if he wants to go there. He's got to. You can't not.
Right. He hangs onto the Griffin. The Griffin sort of pads around in a circle for a bit until Alan first comes through, and Alan's like, "Oh, this is awesome." And then the caravan leader comes over, looks a little warily at the Griffin riding round playing horses with your son Alan.
All right, mate. Good in it. It's me mate, Liaro. He's nice. He's going to scout for her.
That's a fantastic plan. I would you can never complain about an aerial scout. He says,
That's all.
"I'm very proud to meet you, noble beast." Leo says, "No, thank you very much. Not so much of the beast, though."
Yeah, he's a Liaro. I mean, you know, he's got a name. It's like you don't go around calling the duck, duck. Or the dead guy, Mr. Dead.
Yeah.
at least not twice, anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So that's that scouting done. Yeah, we did good.
Right. So, Leo doesn't take Alan for a fly, since Alan has 0 flying skill, or ride Griffin, should I say.
Yeah.
But he hangs about with him and he plays with him and he lets him ride about. He keeps his word, he flies off, and then later in the afternoon he comes down, lands next to you, Earl, and he says,
Yo,
"Caravan, my friend, there's a party of Praxians following the caravan parallel to it, but keeping an equidistant length. They're still out of your poor human eyesight."
yeah, I like sort of look in his eye and go, they're really big eyes, man. They must be really angry.
He laughs. He says, "So I can keep an eye on them, or?"
Ta-ha! When he says keep an eye on them, I laugh and go, oh, excellent. The Punmeister is in town.
Yeah.
Right, I'll go and tell the caravan later. There's like a Praxian caravan up there.
Not caravan, a group of warriors riding along.
What they're riding on?
They are riding on.
Don't be bisons, don't be bisons, don't be
Antelopes.
bisons, don't be bisons. Oh, wait a minute, antelopes, the bad one. There's a load of antelope riders coming this way. I'll tell them.
And he says, "Oh, well, as long as they don't interfere with us, then they won't have to taste our bronze."
That's what I like to hear.
Right, so
I'll pat Kane on the shoulder and go, might be in business later, mate.
and business is good. Right, so you finally reach the old road. The old road is a marvel of engineering that runs from Sartla to Pavis. It's a great, massive, paved road, lovely and smooth. You can get 2 caravans either side. There are watchtowers every half a mile. There are way stations, places to feed your cattle. There's inns sprung up on the side. It's all very civilized. And you spend the last couple of days with Chip travelling down the road. No problem.
I will be inconspicuously waving and shouting "Hello yourself" to every watch.
Right. It's patrolled by lunar soldiery. There's no trouble on it at all. And basically, you travel all along the road till you get to the last inn. You get to the last inn before Pavis, and this is basically where the caravan people are going their own ways. There's lots of farewells. Pavis is a strange city that we'll get to. Fafnir and the Mouse are heading into Pavis because they hear the big rubble. The big rubble is basically full of dungeons, full of treasure. That sounds like a great plan for them. The centaurs are going to be heading south into the Long Dry, probably going to head down to Horngate to see if there's any work going. The rest of the people are going to New Pavis. Pavis is a city split into two. New Pavis, which is like a civilised bit, and Old Pavis, which is like a giant walled area with loads of different monsters and races that live in there.
It's like South Hilton.
Yeah, basically. So what happens is your cousin Shoshav, your third cousin Shoshav, comes up. Obviously, Liaro cannot really get into Pavis because they don't have helipads yet.
That's not very nice of him.
But he thanks you for saving him, and he says, "One day I'll repay your favour."
Oh, not a problem, mate. You just look after yourself.
He says, "Just call for me on the wind." Some of you's got to be all aunties, haven't you?
Well, technically we all are.
I'm a lay member of Oland.
I was going to say it's kind of, all Sartorites are sort of lay members. I think it's like, you know, he's our god's boss.
And so basically, what happens is you get paid. We'll sort that out in the post PM. We're going to stop and we're going to do experience rolls a little bit. Your cousin Shoshav comes up to meet you at the last inn before you go to Pavis proper, Bracy, and he's like, "Oh, it's good to see you again. I haven't seen you since Auntie Flo's wedding."
God, don't remind me. I had a hangover for a week. What's going on? Anything?
He says, "Well," he says, "I'm glad you got here safely with all of your belongings, and I know you were gonna drop off some of your belongings for me to look after, but unfortunately things have gone and taken a terrible, terrible turn."
Why does this always happen to us?
I do feel like trouble follows us somewhat.
I'll look at the duck and say, "He doesn't mean you, it's all right."
I'll look at you, and I just keep staring at you.
Right, when we last left our heroes outside the walls of Pavis, they'd just run into Bracy's cousin, third cousin, Shoshav. And he'd said, "It's all gone horribly wrong." He beckoned you over and into a table in the corner, the one marked for adventurers to hide in the shadows and get a round of drinks in.
Oh, I like this guy. Hello,
I look at
McLovin's
him
cousin.
and say, "Have you been nicking the family silver again?"
He says, "No, I'm a posh agent and everything now. I get a stipend."
Posh. You would know
I
posh
want one of them.
Yes.
Yeah,
How do I get a one?
we're all there. We're all together in this now. You know, free Sarto and all that.
Yeah, power to the people. Blah blah.
Right, he goes, "Right, as I was saying outside, obviously now we're out of the way of pioneers. It's
I'll
all,
look around the tavern full of people who are probably listening on us
right.
and go back now.
Is there a ranger type guy sitting in the corner?
There's a lot of people. There's Praxian nomads sitting there in their smelly leather, smelling the place up. Lunars, lunar soldiery, lunar citizens. You never see such a hive of scum and villainy as you do in Pavis. There's literally everybody from all over the planet ends up in Pavis at some point. Right, he says, "I've received a glass butterfly from Boldholm." Now, a glass butterfly, you may have heard of. It's kind of like a magical butterfly made of glass. you speak a message into it, and then it flies off to the recipient, and then recites the message when it gets there. It says, "I've received a glass butterfly from Bordom." I don't know if you've heard about one of the chieftains. That crazy Boudica wannabe Kalia has raised an army, and she's about to
get killed.
Attack the
Get a lot of
lunars.
people killed.
She's about to attack the lunars to try and throw them out of Sartah. But the problem we have is she's been shouting her mouth off all over the place, saying that she will marry any of the heirs of Sartah that are surviving. To this point, nobody's actually given it a second thought that there may be any surviving heirs of Sartah. He says, so, thanks to Kalia, now it's in a week or two, it's going to get extremely hot.
You know, I heard there was a lass going around wanting to cave her skull in. Maybe you should set them a date.
Yeah, meet on this date. He says, so, we can't take Alan. He says, you're going to have to look after him a little longer. He goes, however, I've got a cunning plan, but you're not going to like
his cunning plans. I'll point it. Praise.
He flashes you a dazzling diamond smile from behind his short beard, and he goes, well, you're not going to like it, put it that way.
Oh dear.
I never do, cousin. I never do.
He says, right, we need to... He says, no, I sent the glass butterfly back.
Great. Can you get a message up the pipe then and tell them we're going to need some div cover for this kid?
Yes.
Because they're going to start looking for him, and unless we're going to sit in the temple for 6 weeks, you're going to have to get some cover.
Yes. I'll make sure that he's covered.
Oh, I mean, like, quickly.
Yeah. That's all in hand, don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean, don't worry?
Yeah, the first thing I do when people say "don't worry" is worry.
Worry.
I mean, we could sort it out. It can't be that hard. We'll just charge them. Yeah, that's the point, right? This was a delivery. We're here. Are we now being extended to babysitting Alan till this blows over and some stupid tart finishes a rebellion that won't work?
He says you have an amazing grasp of the hidden facts of rebellion life.
Right. Okay. Pass this up the chain. We want an increased. What's your stripy end? Yeah, we want bigger stripy end.
You want a stripy end?
Yeah, we want bigger stripy ends. Significantly bigger stripy end.
And most of the point, we want paying for the job we've just completed, and then the stripy end on top of that for the next bit.
This is like he said.
Yep.
He says, I will certainly arrange that for you.
If you... From now on, expenses are going on the bill. No offence.
You want a fence?
No, I said no offence when I said the bill.
Noah's fence.
No, man.
Where's Noah?
So he says, basically, all we need to do is take you into Pavis. Duke Rouse is holding interviews for mercenaries, and then the caravan is going to head out. He's making, he's building a little homestead out in the Praxian Wilds. I mean, all you got to do is hang out there for, like, you know, a year, whatever, until all of this is over.
A year? Like a whole year?
He says, all you got to do is hang out on the borderlands.
It's Prax. It's full of, I'll point at the Praxians, and guys who worship the sun. It's weird.
He said, look at it on the bright side, at least you're going to get to work on your suntans.
It's intolerable, this.
I don't know
We're unionising. That's it. We're unionising.
I don't know about the rest of you, but he lost me when he at the point where he said, all you have to do is.
Yeah, pretty much.
We could just...
The problem is, Andy, although you're a duck, so this doesn't really apply to you, to be honest. These are all good, upstanding citizens of Sartar who hate the Lunar Rebellion. And if you look at their character sheets, they've all got loyalty to clan, loyalty to Sartar, and they're literally like holding their hands over the hearts to sing wind over Sartar, and they're like, "Earl, you must do this to save Sartar."
Yeah,
the tear
I'm gonna
rolls
do
down
it.
Earl's cheek on once.
I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna get paid.
Aye, what I said.
And on top of that, I think you'll find that the ducks aren't particularly fond of the lunars, considering the lunar trade in feathered cloaks.
Yeah, well, exactly. You're going to be out of the way. I mean, Pavis is ran by the lunars, so it's pointless hiding in Pavis.
We're going to be working for a lunar.
An ex-lunar. I've got
the
intelligence that I have on him is been disgraced, and he's literally been sent into the arsehole of the universe so that he's out of the way.
Exactly, and we're now going to have to go and work in the arsehole of the universe. Thank you for clarifying our position. So, I want a decent-sized stripy end, and so do the lad. I want a chunk, like a proper chunk.
I will definitely arrange an appropriate payment for you.
Don't fuck us. Do not fuck me.
He goes to McLovin. He's like, "We're family. Why would I fuck
yeah. You screw this up, I'll be telling that to Sharon."
Right, hang on a second. Can I just have a quiet word with McLovin? Just a moment. I'll lean over and say to McLovin, just quiet enough that I can hear him, will you get really upset if I slit his throat? If we get fucked?
Nope.
Okay then. I'll turn around and go, yeah, make sure we got a decent stripy end, and it's all good. Whereabouts you living?
He says, "I move about a lot."
Yeah.
I look at my cousins here. I remember, I know what you did when you were 13.
You say, "Yeah, you did it as well."
I'll
yeah, at least I didn't get paid for it though. Yeah.
I'll whisper something to Feck and Dag, and Feck and Dag will go up to him and take a good long sniff of him, like you know how.
Right in his crotch.
Yeah.
He's like, he looks down at your dog and he's like, "Your dog's getting very friendly."
Does the dog look at me and nod?
Yeah.
That's all right. He's just getting acquainted, just in case we never need to find you. You know. Make sure that you express that the stripy end has to be a very big stripy end.
Yes, he said, "Hey, McLovin's family. I wouldn't fuck family."
I've seen the things that McLovin does, right? He will fuck anything. Like, anything.
It's true. You nearly did nail that chick down in his fence down.
Purple knickers.
Right.
Come on then, let's do it.
So you've been paid for the caravan. I'll add that to the fat loot, which needs to be updated. You probably get. I think it's.
We've
around...
got wait. We have expenses. We were told that they would cover our expenses, so I've created a large list of expenses. I will literally charge for everything we have done from leaving to here. It includes things like buying all the barrels. That includes paying people to sleep. Every single thing.
Right. It's a shame you can't read and write. Gracie can.
Yeah. Can you give him the expenses list?
Oh yes.
Bracy pulls out a crayon. What's your read right, Pat?
Hang on. 11.
Right, Bracy pulls out this big crayon, licks the end, and he's like, "Right, what do you want us to write down?" You know, when you hold it in you see Ben holding it in the fist. That's how Bracy writes.
And I'll look dead impressed.
Right, and everybody else goes, "Whoa, he's writing."
They're clever. Right, I will give them the bill, which will take us about half an hour to write out on apparently bits of. It'll probably be the tabletop, and we'll just hand them the table. Then bill them for the fact that we have to pay the inn for the table.
I suddenly found that stretching this plot thread in front of you it's just going to go horribly wrong. It's like, right, what we do is we burn the house down and then we bill it. I'm going to have to introduce a senior NPC who just shouts until his face goes red. You can't bill us for burning a house down.
Yes, we can. It's all right. I've got a way to make this official. Are we going to go to Pavis then?
He said yes. The Duke's hold a mercenary interviews just inside Pavis.
Brilliant. We'll kill some people, and is that how they do it? We'll have a dust up.
No, not quite. Pavis is kind of locked down and also free at the same time.
All right. We could just fly in.
Pavis is like no other city on the entire planet.
What's a planet?
You'll have to see it for yourself, basically.
Well, lead on. Oh, wait. Buy some sausages from the barman. Bill them.
Right. Basically, keep a track of all of this.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't somebody have some parchments?
But no, that's what I'm going to buy.
So Bracy's official job is now accountant.
So it's like, you'd be like, Bracy, what's that run, spot, run? I don't know.
Spot has a big ball, a big red ball, run, spot, run. Jane has a chainsaw. Run, John, run.
Right, so you leave the last lonely inn and you cross to Pavis and the Big Rubble. You approach Pavis along the old road. You see the Great Walls of Pavis sprawling to the left and the right of the river. On the right, beneath the Great Walls, is a lesser walled city nestled against the Great Wall. The town is built partially on a hill, and above the walls around New Pavis rise the tall walls and lofty houses of Rich Hill. You approach the city, you see across the river on the left another unwalled settlement, less imposing, with low ramshackle buildings and a halo of hovels and desperate shacks. This is the poor part of town, known locally as Bad Side or Thief Town. The road winds east along the southern bank of the River of Cradles and terminates at a towered gate guarding the walls to the town of New Pavis. As you draw closer, you notice indigents and cripples along the sides of the road, here in crude shelters protecting them from the sun, field adventurers, the maimed and the blind, the disheartened and the dispirited. Mountless nomads passively watch the travellers enter the city. Beggars cry for charity, promising the blessings of sundry gods of war and mercy.
Earl, throw these beggars and poor a ton of coin, then bill them.
No, that's a bad idea.
Right, outside on the road, the small boys swarm around people as they come down the road, shouting, "I like this guy, Governor. I can tell you where the best places to stay is."
I'm gonna mind my pockets.
Does this kind of look like Newcastle?
Oh God, no, it's not that rough, is it?
No, it's not that rough. So. After the quiet of the plains, the constant chat and the cries are deafening and bewildering. A few coins for a man with no leg. Pray you'll never lose a leg. Beg for your bed. You've got hands and feet. Share with those who've lost them. Bless you, boys. May the light shine on you. How's the rubble you see? Well, it's richer for the armour left in it for sure. It's a hard place to find. Try Gimpy's in New Pavis. There's always plenty of talk. This is the cacophony of sounds that surround you, picking out words and sentences here, there and everywhere. You hear people shouting, "Maps to the city, good guides, 100% treasure maps."
Mm-hmm.
And then you basically approach the tower that lets you in Pavis.
Don't worry, guys. I've got this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right, so you approach the tower. It's large, made of stone, with a solid gate in between. There's a pair of lunar soldiery at the front gate, and they are not the ones you encountered in Moonbroth. These are the well-trained heavy infantry. It must be absolutely sweating in there, but they're wearing like full combat armor, carrying the wicked lunar scimitars and large shields. Just inside the gate, you can see a full squad of guards relaxing in a permanent shelter out of the sun, whittling, gambling, telling crude jokes. But there's literally a full lunar squad sitting just behind the door, and they wait for you to approach. And then, as you get closer, one of the guards steps forward.
All right, yourself.
He goes, "Gentlemen, is it welcome to the city for you? You don't look familiar, so please excuse my formality. I'm Sergeant Ferrick, and you must register your name and nationality with us and agree to observe several rules of conduct within the walls of the city. Thereafter, I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have how to get about in it. Now, if you please come into the station, we can take care of these little details and get you quickly on your way."
All right, sounds like a plan. It's feckin' hot.
Aye, it's always hot here in Pavis.
Do with a breeze.
Right, so he leads you in. You're not familiar with the face, so it's the first time you've approached it.
I will appear to be a bumbling idiot.
You
You do that.
magnificently.
It's almost like you've got 100% in bumbling idiot.
Remember, we're going to try to be mercenaries. They're not going to hire
I've
idiots.
got this. Don't worry, I've got this.
He certainly has. Right, he leads you into one of the towers. It's a big round room. There's an obvious lunar clerk sitting there with a big pile of parchment behind a desk.
I'll walk over and look at the parchment. Has he got lots?
He's got lots of parchments.
Wow. Okay. I'll walk back to where the guard was and go, right, sorry.
Right. First, there's right. There's a list of rules on the wall there. You see a big poster with a smiling lunar officer doing the old pointy finger pose with some scribble underneath. Basically, you can pick out the old words. It's a list of rules. He said, so most people can't read, so what I'm going to do is I'll give you a list of the rules.
Thank you very much.
Firstly, within the walls of Pavis, wearing metal armour, apart from helmets, is strictly prohibited. So I'm afraid the metal armour has to come off. Bearing polearms or missile weapons, unless they are rendered harmless by being sheathed or laced shut or unstrung, is against the rules. Rune magics may not be used except in appropriate recognised temple ceremonies or duties or when used by licensed merchants. Battle magics are prohibited except when cast in the privacy of your own home or for battle magics which affect yourself only.
But what happens if, for example, someone attacked someone and we had to spring to their defence?
That, sir, does not happen. The lunar troops in here keep the place clean and well disciplined and in order.
All right then, that's good.
I cannot stress too strongly our intolerance for violence and outlawing the city.
Very good. I'm not a fan of myself.
The Lunar Guard is quite capable of handling any disturbances, and the citizens are quick to shout for a guard to prevent any dangerous or illegal behaviour.
Big hue and cry city then.
He says,
lots of bloody murders and that sort of thing. Well, not that murder probably happens here a lot.
He says, right, now firstly we have some forms to fill in. Firstly, you're going to need a gate pass since this is your first time here.
Thank you very much.
The cost will be 2 lunars per person, and we will provide the appropriate paperwork. He unrolls several things of parchment which has squiggles on. and there's like a line drawn at the bottom. He said, so if you just pay your 2 lunar gate charge per person and sign your mark on the line here.
I will pay my 2 lunars. And do I need to pay for my boy?
Yeah,
or is it
everybody that goes into Pavis has to pay the 2 lunar gate fee.
I'll grumble at the fact that I have to pay for the feckin' kid. And I'll dig out 4 lunars worth of shit out of my pockets. Quite literally, like 3 clacks. Oh, there's a ball.
3 clacks, 50
Oh,
points.
that's an ear. No, that's not in there. Oh, some string. A bra. Put a bra on it. I'll dig out 4 lunars and there.
Right, okay, you pay for those 2, and then he indicates it there. He says, please make your mark here.
Right, I'll get an arrow out and spit on the end of the arrow and jam it into my arm a bit to get some... Oh, no, blood's bad. I'll get me tattooing and I'll tattoo a dog on the mark plate, and then I'll tattoo a little dog on the kids.
Right, okay, the clerk raises one eyebrow. And then says, very well, takes a red candle, pours the red candle on, stamps it with his official ring. And
hey, that's good. Can you buy them?
he says, sir, these are issued by the lunar government. They are not for sale.
All right. What, even the wax?
Yes, even the wax. And then he hands you a little bronze token, like a small coin, and he goes, this is your door pass.
Thank you very much.
And there's one for the one for the child.
Well, don't give it to him because he'll lose it. He sticks everything up his bum.
He says, well, you'll have to take care of him because it's illegal to be found in Pavis without a valid gate pass.
All right, I'll put them both in my mouth and stick them in the inside of my cheek.
Right. The next thing so he ushers you to one side. There's a formal bench in the corner. He says, there you are, please sit down. Brissy, he says, there you go. If you could just please pay your 2 lunar fee and make your mark on the dotted line there.
Yep, give me money. Sign a big X.
Oh,
actually,
I'll go back and
X and a Y.
I'll get my bra back.
Okay. Right. Again, pours the red candle wax on, stamps it with the period of the scene, hands you a small coin. The coin's got an image of the red moon on one side and an image of a woman on the other. You're not sure who it is, but it's got to be somebody important. And he does Ryan again. Are you paying for the baboon?
Yeah, I'll pay for Bourbon, and I'll sign mine with the death rune. Just so you know.
Just a death rune.
That's how I speak to people,
Right.
It's my kind of language.
Yeah, you receive your coin. All the paperwork's filled in. Right, it is red hot, and you are the only person that has metal armor, i.e. plate. Andy's is lintharax, which is like the Greek hoplon armor, so it's leather and cloth glued together to make like a bulletproof vest effect. So you can keep your armor, but you can't wear it. You have to take it off.
Yeah. I'll take it off and I'll just put it in my backpack.
Right.
That's fine.
And again, Earl, you're going to have to unstring your bow because everything's illegal.
I always keep it unstrung. That would be savage to walk around with a strung bow. You're going to knack at that.
Right, and finally, Andy, he looks like around the room and says, where's the other member of your party? And then leans forward and looks over the desk as Andy's below the level of the desk. He says, do you need a footstool?
Excuse me. I'll interject myself. Excuse me, but my humacti friend probably doesn't require a stool.
Yeah.
No, I can reach. Thank you very much. And
so
I'll give him that look.
he fills it in and he's like, species, duck. Yeah, okay. And it's just that little duck on the end. And then he fills it in. He says, "There you go, sir. 2 lunars."
I'll give him the 2 lunars. And I'm waiting for him to say, "Make your mark."
Yeah, he says, "Make your mark."
And I'm going to do the whole thing. What is it? Is it a quill or a stylus or what?
He has a quill.
Right. I shall take the quill, look at the quill, look at him, give him a withering look, and then very carefully stick me tongue out the side of me beak. Put me other wing round so he can't say what I'm writing. And he should sign me name like a very stylized picture of a duck.
Right. Okay. You see that the sergeant who's there, like trying to look over your shoulder to see what you're doing, but he can't get a glimpse. The clerk looks a little.
If he does, I'll just like shove you around a bit and pull me down a bit over, sweet kind of say.
Right. You do that. Once you leave go, the clerk looks rather confused and holds it up and then turns it upside down again and turns it round as if he's like, "I'm missing something, but I'm not sure what's going on." He pours the candle wax, stamps it, gives you your little bronze token of your gate token. Sergeant Ferrick says, "Well, thank you. That's the formalities concluded." He says, "Might I recommend that all of the best establishments, the drinking places, the entertainment places are all up round by the Seven Mothers Temple. It's a hub of culture and entertainment. This must not be missed when you're in Pavis."
Yeah, I'm sure.
Where's the halls?
He says, "Well, that's probably not best discussed in the office."
All right, then. Is he not meant to know where the halls are?
No, he's not meant to know where the halls are, but he's a soldier.
Is he one of them? All right. I thought he was one of them.
Thought he was a hall.
Right, so
like
he takes you back out of the tower, out of the office, and then leads you through the gate. The gate it's raised during the day, so it's like and you enter it, and it's one of those sweeping shots when you walk into a massive cosmopolitan city. There's screaming, there's shouting, there's vendors, there's people pushing past each other. There's
and all you can hear is a duck going, "A quill, a fucking quill."
I know. I tell you what, right? I thought that was going to end bad. I was
worried.
Right.
You know what it is, right? Culture blind, racists. That's the problem. Racists.
Andy, you could have just like really hard looked at the quill, looked at your arm, pulled one of your own feathers out, tipped it in the ink and signed it.
Oh, I never thought of that.
He'd have had to sharpen it.
Yeah, he'd have had to sharpen it.
Hey, well, it's not like we're in a rush. We've got a year for this.
Yeah.
Right, so you advance into the thronging crowd. Off to your left, there's a massive crowd gathered around a guy dressed in robes, covered in Lank or Mai runes, standing in a box. He's got a chalk slate next to him, a big chalk slate with a big circle drawn on it, and he's going, "I tell you, 80 weeks, we're here to learn the truth. They're trying to keep it from you. You mustn't listen to them. It's a lie, it's a lie." Yeah.
I've got to get on this. Come on.
I hide my coin purse.
Oh, mine's stuck down the front.
Right, there's a large crowd around him, but a lot of them are jeering.
Whoa. I'll turn around to someone on the crowd and go, "What's the bloke you talking about?"
He goes,
"I wonder what odds you give us on the favourite."
He goes, "Oh man, that's crazy, Phil. He's a round earther. He keeps insisting the world's round." He reckons he can go around it. If he goes off one side in 80 weeks, he can back on the other side and he'll come back to where he started. He's trying to raise funds to get an expedition going to go around the world.
How much has he raised?
2 bulgs and a thick ear.
How much does he need?
He reckons 100,000 lunars.
We can put that on expenses.
Get the bill!
So Phil's gone,
Unfortunately, the rebellion is now bankrupt because we
Funded a voyage around the world.
so Crazy Phil and his manservant are standing there, and then somebody's like starts throwing a tomato at him. He's like, "I'll tell you the truth. They're just trying to hide it from you. It can't be flat. Why would the world be flat? The sun has to revolve around the world. Otherwise, it would disappear into the underworld. It doesn't make any sense." And they're like, "Yeah, but whatever, you crazy asshole."
It goes down Megasta's pool, you feckin' Egypt. That's what the hole's for. Don't you learn out in school?
So, just as the crowd's starting to get rowdy and you're joining in the chamber and going, Crazy Phil, and he's trip around the world in 80 weeks, there's like a thump, 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 and the crowd starts getting shoved to either side as it comes past you.
Oh, I'll look at what's thumping.
Right, you turn around and look, and you're looking into the navel of some gigantic wide creature. You look up, and it's well, you've actually met one before. It's a cave troll that you met in White Eye's wife, who you disavowed.
Not the same one.
No, this is a gigantic cave troll.
Because we cut her head off, didn't we?
Wearing a watch tunic and helmet and carrying an arbalast, and he's just sort of going boom, boom, boom as he walks. The crowd literally just parts in front of him.
I'll part.
Yeah. That's my idea.
All right, yourself, Biggin.
Oh, hello. You get close and you see he's got a watch badge on, and it's got Pavis watch, night shift written on it.
We could do that. We'd be brilliant watchmen.
So he looks like he's furrowing his brow in the bright sunlight, but he sort of thumps past you and walks through the crowd.
Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. I'll walk over and go, you know, I know that it's a bit bright. Maybe you could wear a hat with a peak on it.
A peacock on it? How would I keep it on there?
Well, no. What you do is you get like, hang on a minute. I'll look around for someone wearing a peaked hat. There's someone wearing a large hat.
There's
a sombrero or something.
Yes, a sombrero. You see somebody wearing a sombrero. It's a massive cosmopolitan city.
I want to buy your hat.
He says, I beg your pardon?
Can I buy your hat? I'll put my I'm buying your hat, and please don't get between me and the purchasing of your hat.
Give us a charm roll then.
I'm good at this. Charm. Very charming. Was that an 8 or a 16? Oh, no, I'm not very charming. I give 5 lunars for it.
For a hat? Oh, okay.
Buy his hat.
Percy, get an expenses. One.
Yeah.
Get a receipt!
Another crayon mark.
And I'll go over to the troll and put the sombrero on his head. See?
Right, he's got like a piece of cloth with writing pinned to his uniform. Bracy can read some of it. It basically says, "Night watchmen do not fade" on it. And he goes, "My shift is over. What are you doing with that?"
Well, it's so that you don't hurt your eyes when you're walking to home from.
Oh, thank you. So he takes.
Sorry, yourself.
He takes the hat and sticks it on the end of his nose, and it's like,
does it work?
It's not working.
bend down a bit. I'll stick it on his head, and I'll put it in a jaunty angle so it hides his shadows.
Right, okay. You give the constable a makeover and put a hat on him. Yeah,
Her?
him.
Oh, is it to him? Oh, I thought it was her.
Well, no, that's the only cave troll you've ever seen before.
All right. This one's got less boobs.
Yes, less boobs, more muscle. He's gigantic. Like I said, he carries an arbalast at a jaunty angle.
I'll say, pleased to meet you. I'm Crowdan. How's yourself? Are you having a good day? Is you finished for your shift for the night, are you? You off to bed? That's what I would do.
Going to bed. I am Constable Led.
Ah, pleased to meet you. We'll probably be around. It'll be great to say hello. Have a nice day, your officers.
For the heart.
That's all right.
I have to go to bed now. I am not allowed to eat the citizens.
That's a good thing. Good night.
Good
Sleep well.
night. And then he stomps off. Gives you a big, waves his big meaty fist.
I'll wave. I'll turn round to Lovin, who's probably looking for views, and go, I'm making friends with the locals. The big, dangerous locals.
Yes, at least it's not enemies.
No, give us time. We need to find a shop that sells parchment.
Everything's for sale in Pavis. So,
Brilliant.
basically, like the lunar said, there's absolutely no crime. There's no murders. It's a law-abiding citizen. Yeah, right, of course.
Bollocks.
Yeah. So basically, you can do a shopping montage. You can literally find anything. The local people will direct you, or Cousin Shoshav will take you to the various shops, learn spells, buy things within reason.
We need a book, some sealing wax, a ring with some random pattern on it, some bits of ribbon, and a number of pens and ink.
Oh, God.
And we get someone. Can the guy who sells all this stuff write?
No, in general they can't.
The guy who sells paper can't write.
No, they don't. They don't write as a general.
Who does the writing?
The Aseris do the writing.
Okay, that's
Sorry,
great. We'll
no.
go see them.
Aseris do writing, and Langlormai do writing.
Oh, right.
So is this for Bracy, is it?
Yes.
Right, Bracy, so can you mark this down?
We need a bill.
Mm-hmm.
I need the series to write receipts and in and out on the front.
Right.
Like, I want a thing for receipts on the back and an in and an out sections in the front. And I'm going to teach Bracy how to do double entry bookkeeping by someone with a very terrible numeracy skills and no ability to write or understand what numbers are.
Right. Okay. While others are trying to bring about the downfall of Pavis, is anybody else wanting to do anything? Obviously, in between sessions, we talked about buying spells and stuff like that. So you can do that. You can buy pretty much anything within reason. If you want to buy illegal and or distasteful items, you can try your intrigue or charm or orate.
I'm good. I've got everything I need.
I want to ask my cuz, try and make sure I know if there's any safe houses and stuff in case anything goes horribly, horribly wrong.
What do you mean if?
Well, correction. When it goes horribly wrong.
It's already going horribly wrong. We just don't know it yet.
Yes, he says there's places in Bad Side where you can hide out.
Just in case.
It never goes horribly wrong. I mean, come on, this is Pavis, the greatest city on the planet.
Does anyone sell sausages?
They sell every kind of sausage imaginable.
This is like his kind of weird form of heaven.
You can literally go to buy almost any kind of sausage you want.
I'll buy sausages.
I buy many. If I haven't heard of it, I'll buy it.
I will taste test many sausages.
Right, they also do a special sausage called a haggis. It looks a bit like sausage, but it's
I'll
not
have
quite
that.
sausage. And the guy says, "Oh, it's bison stomach stuffed with beef and meat and
Whoa,
barley."
whoa! You never tell anyone what's in a sausage. Don't you know anything?
Right. So you buy these things, and then you go to show shop. Make sure you get everything you need. Have you got everything you need?
I'll give the man who was selling the sausages one of me spare bras.
Okay. Is this a bribe? Is this some kind of weapon?
Well, you could use it as a sling, but you need to fire two at once. It's a new twin cup sling. It's me over the bush, shoulder boulder hold.
Right.
It's got like an inbuilt multi-missile, maybe.
So, craziness aside, you are. Shorshaft says, right. Duke Rouse has sent his sergeant at arms to the hiring hall. You know, Ryan, that the hiring halls are basically Humanity temples, and that's where they hire mercenaries. So it's off to the Humanity temple.
Okay.
Let's go and enjoy our new life as out-of-the-way mercenaries in the armpit of humanity. I wanted to go to the rubble and find treasure and be rich and live in a fridge.
Well, it's always next year.
Yeah, this episode is called The Road to Pavis, Part 3, Bait and Switch. Yeah, so you just get to see the magnificence of Pavis. You don't get to taste every sausage. There's so many types of sausages, and you're just going to have to leave some.
Oh God! I'll get a selection of charcuterie. Yeah, I'll get a doggy bag. Me and the dog will walk along just munching through. So it's a good one, that one. We'll keep a bit of that one to tell them that's the one we like. No, we don't like this one. We'll eat all of that. Oh, this one's quite good. We'll keep a bit of this one. What? I'll just stick it in the pocket. I'll find it later.
Okay, I'm sure we can identify it in a few months' time.
You can from the smell. Sausages never go bad.
Right, yeah.
They last forever. Didn't you know that?
I do now.
Do you want some haggis? I don't know what's in it, but it tastes like the fens.
There you go, chaps. That is New Pavis. I had uploaded it, but not put it as a map.
It's big, innit?
Right.
Pretty big.
That is the new city, the old city. That the rubble there is the old giant city, and as you can see, the new
it's
city
like 100 times
it's
bigger.
about 100 times bigger.
Right, where's this temple thing then?
So
look for a building that looks like a cross.
Yes, basically you go to the building. He takes you to the building shaped like a death room. The mercenary hiring hall's there, and he shows you. I'm actually trying to find the mercenary hiring hall that looks like a cross as well. So he takes you to the mercenary hiring hall, and he points to a group of soldiers.
Do we look like soldiers?
No, there's like a group of soldiers in the corner, like next to a table with somebody who can read and write.
Oh, shit. Well, we'll have to smarten it. I'll look at us. Do we look like mercenaries? Do I know what a mercenary looks like?
You do look like mercenaries.
Brilliant.
Well, yeah, I think we'll look great.
Right, who's going to do the talking? Should that be me?
I mean, yeah. As much as that is probably fun.
Do you think
Just jump in with fast talk.
Yeah, you just back us up. Right, I'll lead and you just jump in and rescue. Right, I'll walk over the table with the soldiers.
Right, there
I'll
is
salute.
standing at the back a large, grizzled old soldier wearing plate in the heat, carrying a big iron sword.
Oh, he's the gaffer then.
With a green beard.
All right, yourself.
And there's a bunch of normal soldiers knocking about. Right. The guy is has, like I said, an iron broadsword, full plate armor. If you would like to make me some scan rolls, please.
Hang on a minute.
Success.
Very success.
Wow.
Where is it?
Under
Character sheet,
perception.
skills.
Yeah. Right, hang on.
In the middle.
Hang on. What am I looking for again? Sorry.
Scan.
Ah, yes. Mine like blooming sieve. Hang on, scan.
Oh,
and I
holy shit.
I just click that, do I?
Nice.
Wow, most of us can see.
Right, you notice that blanked out on his iron armor, his iron plate mail, is he's got humanity, death, and truth runes. They've been removed from the armor, and it's been polished out, but you can just see the outline of where he's to have his death and his truth runes.
And we're in a Humanity temple.
Yeah.
And he hasn't exploded. Probably all right with the big lad then.
Yeah, he's probably all right.
Probably all right with the big lad. Yeah.
Right. Now, normally, when you get hired by people, you normally speak to the underlings. This guy says, I assume you've come to try for the Rouse household. We're looking for
yes.
good, strong mercenaries.
That's the Austin.
He says, excellent. So what previous experience have you got?
Well, we've just guarded a caravan from Boldholm, and there was all sorts of feckery. We got attacked by Brew, and we killed them. And we got attacked by some women that were like murdering people in the night, and then we killed them. And then we slept in a cave, and there was a monster outside, but no one would like us to fuck around with it. And then we found a Griffin, and he was very nice. And then we come here. And previous to that, we killed a god. Hang on, I'll get a list of all the things we've done. There's a few, like.
Right, he looks rather perturbed, and he says, right, that's very an interesting history.
We killed a dinosaur, not a god, sorry. It's easy to get them confused. We slew the White Eye Gang, we defended Gringle's pawn shop, and we rescued Liara the Griffin.
Interesting. I think you should make me in a rate roll to see how well you tell this story.
I am really a ratey.
You're very a ratey.
I will have him hanging on every word.
Very eracious.
Do I have an irate skill? Yes, I do.
I believe.
Would it be not better if I sang to him? Oh, that would have been a successful sing. Just saying.
You could have rolled your truth rune. You were telling the truth.
Yeah, I was actually.
You can roll your truth rune for an argument if you like.
Do I have
say,
truth?
oh man, it wouldn't have mattered.
I don't have. Oh, I have truth.
Do I have the truth?
I feel that. I'm bad at truth. The simple fact is, none of the stuff I'm saying it would be the sort of thing anyone would lie about, because none of it would make any sense.
Well,
Shall I
presumably,
interject with fast talk?
Yes, baffle them with some
And-
bullshit.
Baffle him with some bullshit.
Expand on the things
what my
we did.
colleague is trying to say is,
Bam, there you go.
I hate your fast talk rule.
But exactly, that's just what I was saying. I was saying that, but you're better with your words than I am, really.
Of course, Council.
We did some bounty hunting for the people at Apple Lane for the White Eye Gang. They were particularly nasty.
Right,
Let
Ryan,
me translate for my colleague.
Ryan would know that if he's packing a bunch of iron, he's probably a sort of humact.
Yeah.
And he almost certainly either has a gift where he can detect truth, or he'll have a detect truth spell up. So you wouldn't. He would have known that you were lying.
Which means he's actually stunned the bollocks we come out with is actually true.
Yeah.
So you did actually, and
You certainly believe you killed a god.
Yeah.
100% believe it, and you believe you rescued the Griffin.
Yeah. He's a nice lad.
He says, "Right, well, that's very impressive. And actually, I see we have one of our feathered brethren here. He
I'll look around for the Griffin.
He indicates like down under your knees where Andy's standing.
All right.
He
Quack
means
Pavis.
me.
All right. Sorry.
He says you will certainly come in handy because Fort Rouse, which is where we're building the settlement, is on the River of Cradles. There's a lot of marshy ground. There will be travelling up and down the river on boats, and I understand that your people are very good swimmers and excellent at using boats.
Oh yes, as we are.
He says, well, I'm happy to say that on behalf of Duke Rouse, I would accept you in our employ. I have a contract here, standard mercenary contract. I'd be happy to read it to you, as I assume that most of you, or all of you, are unable to read the letters.
I'll look confused and go, don't need you to read it. You wouldn't lie to us. Isn't that, like, sensible? Like,
yes, but perhaps you'd like to hear the terms of peer.
yeah, that'd be good.
Luke's
yes,
thing.
money. Yeah, I like that. Go ahead then.
Right.
I like
he gives you these to sign. I'll put them into your journal so you can read them. But
I will
can't-
sign it in the same way as before.
mercenary contract of Rouse, Duke of Rohan. Each person hired will give his complete and utter loyalty in all matters, whether they lead into life or into death, to me, Rouse, Duke of Rohan, Lord of the Weiss domain, to be sworn in person by the oath of my choice. Each warrior agrees to obey all officers appointed by me as if they were me, except in matters which countermand orders given by me. Each warrior agrees and understands and places complete trust in me and my wisdom, and that my own interests include the well-being and trust of each individual in my employ, and that I will not abuse or needlessly risk anyone's life, and that risks will be undertaken only as it aids and serves to protect every loyal person in my group. Each hired warrior will receive an equal share of food delivered once a week, to include 10 kilos of unground barley, 1 kilo of fresh meat, 3 kilos of beans or other lentils, and 1 kilo of good animal fat, or board at the lower tables within my household. Any person who brings his own horse will receive 5 kilos of grain, 5 kilos of fodder, and adequate water on each day it's used, as much as possible. Normal grazing in good ground with adequate water is guaranteed for all horses, but not in hire. Shelter will be provided within suitable barracks and tents, owned and provided by the Duke. Security will be provided for every person in my command, and it's guaranteed that myself, my captain, and my priest will serve as an impartial witness to the ownership of private goods. Anyone now employed may have his own items reviewed by us, establishing true and absolute ownership. On my own word, I guarantee that anything with our vouchsafed witness of private ownership will receive exactly the same protection by me and my staff as if the items were owned by us. Protection for each warrior is guaranteed, with the understanding that the warriors obey instructions to the letter, and they are in no way behave purposely with neglect or intent to harm me or my reputation. Pause for effect. Earl? I am Rouse.
Oh, that's all right. I've got that. No problem.
Rouse isn't there. This is Dane's reading this out. I am Rouse, Duke of Ronan, Lord of the Wise Domain, and I speak for the spirit of my family called from the Roan jewel of my crown. The powers of this jewel protect me and mine from evil sorcery and wicked shaman's magics. And once, in the aid of a priest, I went to the spirit world where I fought enemy spirits, and I imprisoned one to prove my power. In my household lives a priest, sworn brother of mine, who knows many spells and prayers, and whose magic is fearsome to my enemies. All these will keep you healthy from enemy gods and devils who are sent against you for being in my service. Furthermore, every year I'll give one person in my employ one suit of cloth or leather clothing of my choice, a replacement for all personal arms, armour and horses which are lost in combat, and free repair of those damaged on duty. Also, one at each time of the 5 seasons I place in the services of my priest, the desires of my employees, I guarantee the collection or debt of 500 lunars worth of spell teaching. Collection is at the availability of the priest and limited spells known by the priest. Debt is cumulative until collected. Furthermore, I recognise the existence of heirs, and I will properly advance to all items which come into my hands which I have reviewed and recognise as personal property. Finally, each man will receive 5 lunars per week, paid in cash, and also a fair share of any loot received according to normal conventions. Now I demand the oath and seal of you and the recitation of the following oath. By all that is truth and honour, I swear by the power in my soul, by the mind of my body, and by my feet upon the earth, and with the weapons in my hands, I will give my faith and fealty to Rouse, Lord of the Wise Domain, until I am honourably released from this service, or death take me, or the world shall end. And then there's a little place for you to sign.
Can I just ask, what's convention? Because you said with the loot it would be divided by convention, and I don't know what he.
The Orlanthi method. This is the division used by your tribe. The leader is responsible for further dividing the portions. Right, basically.
So basically, we give him anything we find, and he splits it out.
Yes, right. He'd take a certain portion of whatever you find. He'll give you like a split, and then whoever wants to be leader, they can decide. They split into so many shares. Each man gets a separate share. The leader gets 3 shares, but according to Orlanthi law, he can then share his extra shares out so everybody gets an equal split, or he can keep it for himself.
Right.
So basically, whoever's the boss
gets more.
Gets more.
We could put we could put the extra shares to like party fund or something.
Yeah, we should do that. You're the boss.
Yeah, you get to be the boss. So
because he's wise.
Are you voting? Are you voting who's boss or?
Yeah, we'll have a vote. He's the boss. I vote for the Humacti, the taller one. Anyone else got in the vote? Seconded? Can someone second?
I'll vote for the baboon.
You can't vote for an NPC.
I was going to say I was going to change my vote there. No, we'll vote. I'm voting for the Humacti. It's McLovin. We get to blame someone.
We'll get killed.
All right. Won't. It'll be good. Trust me. What could go wrong? What about my boy and my baboon?
Are they squires? Are they squires? So they're non-combatants that'll stay at camp. In which case, we'll provide food and water for them, but they won't be paid. Or you can sign them on as warriors, but to be honest, they look a bit young and they'd have to go and fight in the field.
Well, that's the thing. The baboon's more sort of a squire. Yes?
Yeah.
Is that the thing? Like a squire? And the kids... I mean, he's old enough to be going into battle and, like, you know, dragging bodies off and looting them and stuff. But he's not old enough to be doing the fighting.
Right. Dane gives you a smile and he goes, look, I'm not a monster, okay? I understand the kid's technically old enough, but he's going to need some training. So what we'll do is we'll feed him, we'll clothe him, we'll keep him at camp, and we'll sneak him some extra training in with the lads. when there's some spare time, okay? And we're not.
That's right.
We're not saying that about it to Rouse.
I'll start signing with me tattoo pick, and I'll do the kids as well.
Yep, sign away.
We're in.
You're in. Andy,
We're
are
in.
you happy with this?
Yeah, this seems fair.
He says, "Look, it's not officially in the thing, in the contract, but the Duke does give out bonuses if there's any exceptional acts of bravery or anything that furthers the Duke household. He's a good boy."
Cunning plans. Does he pay for cunning plans? Because we're really good at that. We love it when one comes together.
Oh yeah, we love it when a plan comes together.
We're really good at that.
He says, "I served with him in the army, and I've known him basically since we were recruits together. So he'll look after you as long as you treat him fair."
Good bloke, solid. So I like to hear.
Right. So 1, he's a humanity sword. 2, he served in the army with a lunar officer.
Definitely something away here, but I don't want to know. I don't want to prejudge him because that could be bad.
His runes have removed, so he may be on leave. I mean, you only know this because Ryan's humanity. He may be on leave. He may have stepped down as a full sword, but it's unlikely he'd be lying to you.
It might be one of us undercover. Ha! He's one of us, but he can't say. So he's doing it all on the quiet. That's what it obviously is. That's the conclusion I've come to.
He says, "Right, do any of you have mounts?"
You cut out there, have what?
Do any of you have mounts?
Nope.
No, but I've got Griffin friend.
And he said, "Well, the good news and the bad news is the Duke will provide mounts. If you wish to purchase them, he will take a docking of your salary every week, and you can buy them outright, or he can keep them as his own property, whichever you prefer. The bad news is, if you've never ridden, boy, you're going to get sore."
I'll just walk if that's all right. I don't really trust horses.
He said, "Well, that's fine, because they're going to be zebras. There's a big zebra compound just inside the walls of the rubble, and we've got the correct paperwork to cross over and buy a bunch of zebras. The distance travelled is quite large, and for manoeuvrability and speed, the Duke wants all of his mercenary forces mounted. So good news, lads. You're going to learn
to ride.
I've rode before on my character.
Right, it looks dead easy. It can't be hard."
He says, "All you got to do is, when you fall off the horse, try and miss the ground."
All right, that should be all right.
Right. So your cousin hasn't come into the temple with you.
There's a surprise.
So basically, you've signed up for the kid. The kid will basically do jobs around the fort. He'll feed horses. He'll shovel shit. Carry food about. And he said he'll sneak him some extra training with the sword in and that, well, with the spear.
Of course. Come on, Alan. We're in the army.
We're in the army now. Right.
I suppose I should just ask. Do they have any very, very short-legged zebras?
They do not, but for you, they will get
mules.
A mule, yeah. Mules.
Still a bit big, isn't it?
They'll get a really short mule.
A donkey.
A Shetland mule.
Yeah, they'll get you a donkey.
Donkey's the lunar. The donkey's the lunar mule, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, you're not sure what's going on. Shawshav's told you that
I know
he's
exactly
a lunar.
what's going on. We're in the process of being shafted again.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's all right. We've got a bill.
That's true.
And you've signed 2 sets of paperwork within the first day,
well,
what could possibly go wrong?
I'm going to sign everything. It's going to be my new thing.
Seems fun.
I'm going to sign stuff. Signing is brilliant.
Signing is amazeballs.
They
Right,
just leave you
so
what they don't know is I'm signing my cousin Alan's, well, my cousin John's. It looks very close to mine.
unless you have any shopping to do, he will take you outside of the walls, and they've got a little camp set up. He says Duke Rouse has a house in the posh part of Pavis, but he's actually going to be coming with us. We're going to be travelling to the fort. We've had some of the flint nail cult go and prepare the initial barracks and start building the walls. Flint nail is one of the Pavis gods. It's the cult of the builders that built the walls.
Oh, are they the guys that spend a lot of time shaking their head and going, oh, it's going to take longer than I said?
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's going to cost you. It's not going to be cheap. You know, and like, we haven't got the parts. We're going to have to order them in. It's going to be 3 weeks minimum.
Should be right.
Raining, okay.
Do your drive. It'll cost you.
If they're anything like the buggers that did my bathroom, 6 weeks.
Oh, it's ridiculous, isn't it?
Everything's 6 weeks.
It is, isn't it?
Right, so
12 weeks later, it was still 6 weeks.
He says unless you have other arrangements for sleeping or whatever, we've got some tents set up outside. You're quite welcome to come and stay with us till the morning, till we leave. Yeah,
that's great. Tents are proper posh. Right, we'll go and use a tent.
Yeah,
we're poshos. We've got tents.
Yeah, you don't have to just sleep under the sky with a blanket over you.
Yeah.
Right, so basically you go outside. There's a little camp that Dane's men's got set up. There are various mercenaries, your average bunch of travelling sellswords.
All right, generic. Nice to meet you, generic.
You know, there's a cook.
There's a load of Erics.
There's a load of Erics, yeah. And a cook. Basically, you spend a pleasant night. You get some.
I make the cook dinner. My bestest friend in the entire world.
But more
unless he doesn't make
more than
sausages.
The troll and Phil, the round earther.
Yeah, well, they're my friends as well. But obviously, he's going to be my bestest friend. Like, I'll give him some of my wine, my ale, and I'll give him a sausage, and I'll chat to him, and I'll find everything about the cook out. I will be a compassionate listener and a good friend.
Right, okay. Well, you get an extra portion because guess what you get for dinner? You get beans. That's what you get.
Oh, I love beans! Beans are brilliant! They're giving us food. I'll turn around, McLovin. We're getting food. This is class.
You're getting food and pay and everything.
This is the life. This. Why weren't we doing this before?
You'll see. Soon enough.
Yeah. Oh, honestly, you always think bad things are going to happen. I mean, you went to Moonbroth and it's a paradise. I mean, you know,
it's lush. We weren't allowed in. But it was nice. They kicked us out because of the murdering. Oh, I'll turn around the Erics and go, we weren't murdering, it was the women. The women were murdering.
The women were doing
we did murder the women, but they stopped. Anyway, so yeah. Isn't the Erics what they used to call the Germans in...
Yes.
That's really simple.
Right. Early the next morning, you're all awoken, like just as Yelm is coming up across the sky, and you're greeted with fresh coffee and beans for breakfast.
Oh my god, coffee as well! Oh, this is brilliant! How much coffee do we get? Can we just keep refilling?
No, you get your little bronze cup and your little bronze pan and spoon, and you basically get a ladle full of beans and a half a cup of coffee.
Right, I drink it and eat it and compliment the chef.
Just imagine what Earl's going to smell like after a week of these.
I like tents. My inner wind is awesome.
Right, can we just decide now who's sleeping with who and which in the two-man tents here? Who's getting?
It is going to end up like a scene from Blazing Saddles, isn't it?
It absolutely is. Who's getting stuck with Earl?
Yeah. I think Ryan's going to be Mongol.
I can bite the bullet on that.
He's been somewhat immune to it over the years.
I thought you'd be sleeping with Bourbon.
I mean, I can, yes, but I don't know if he was going to take up like tons of space, but
I'll just sleep in a little corner, me and feckin' Dag. I love playing fetch the ball with feckin' Dag. I throw the ball and then feckin' Bag stands there looking as if to say, well, if you wanted it, you go and get it.
Don't worry, we will get back to Pavis one day. We will.
That'd be brilliant. Right, so,
so you have breakfast. Then there's a great big herd of zebras led up the road, and there is a carriage with a covered.
A what? Like a wagon?
Like a wagon with walls and a roof on. And,
it's like a house!
And little holes with curtains in.
Oh, that's nice.
Dane comes out of his tent. He slept with you in the camp. He hasn't been off to a posh hotel or anything. Comes out wearing his full iron armour and wielding his massive big iron broadsword. He says, "Right, gentlemen, can you please pick your horses? Sorry, zebras. We don't want to offend the locals."
I will take my time searching through the pack of horses.
That's what I want to do.
Right, so let's have some animal laws. Right.
I feel that.
Remember, we can augment rolls, but
oh yes, I'll augment my roll.
I mean, mine it won't make a difference. So.
And Andy, to bring the smallest mule they could possibly find for you. It's still quite big, but you can manage to get up with a bit of scrambling.
Right, let's see what I can do with this then.
I augmented mine with harmony, and I will find. Oh no, with harmony because I rolled harmony because I want to find a zebra that's like gonna get on.
Right, now then. So, that, I think. Minute. I can't say this going well. Oh, get it.
Wow.
Andy, master thing. Right. Okay.
Out of the one donkeys.
Right. Andy, you find that your beast is both sturdy and well behaved.
Jolly good.
As mules go.
Jolly. And hopefully friendly. Though not in that way, before anybody starts.
Right. So, Dale says, I hope you've all eaten. I hope you've selected your mounts. Those that have failed, you pick a mount, but you don't know what characteristics it's going to have.
With augmentation, I made mine.
You succeeded.
I want one that's relatively placid.
Right.
Like, good to learn on.
Right. Okay. Bizarrely, the illustration in the book has the horse with a saddle and stirrups on. And for a start, they don't have stirrups. And secondly, you don't so much have a saddle as a blanket. So, You climb aboard your zebra. You don't climb aboard your zebras. You lead your zebras off. They've got a tie pole set up, so you tie your zebras up. You get to know them. You feed them. Earl knows it's important for you to trust your animal, so you feed it and you pet it and what have you.
I'll get good with the animal. It's my mate.
Right now, the thing about riding skill is anybody can ride as long as it's at a reasonable pace in a non-combat situation. So you can actually ride even though your skill's pretty low. When you try to fight from zebra back, your maximum skill level is limited to your riding skill. So if you've only got 5% riding, you've only got 5% chance of swinging wildly about and hitting somebody. Right? You can do.
Okay.
You can dismount obviously before you get into combat, or you can do an uncontrolled dismount when you get into combat, which is generally called falling off. But you'll get better at riding. I mean, you got a year to practice it, haven't you?
Yeah, it would be brilliant.
So, did you want to sign up where it takes a lunar a week off your wages, and you actually own your own zebra?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
In Andy's case, a mule.
Yes.
Totally gonna paint mine fully black.
Mine's called Dandelion.
You're gonna paint it.
But no,
you paint in the straight.
I
You only paint in the stripes though, so you're there for ages, like trying to fill in the little lines. Right, because bizarrely this is from the original Runequest 2. It's like the party gets horses, and they're like, no, they wouldn't get horses. The horses would get eaten, so they get zebras. Wow. If the players do not have horses, he will provide riding horses and spare mounts.
Wow. I'm calling my horse Dandelion.
Okay, well you actually have a mount part on your character sheet.
I've already filled it in with Dandelion.
Bracy, are you buying your own horse as well?
Yeah, I may as well.
Put it on the bill.
Well, no, it will take the lunar week off your wages and put it
Yeah,
towards a
but that
custom horse.
lunar week we're losing is getting replenished by,
Bracy pulls out the book, pulls his big crane out,
Expenses.
licks the end, starts writing to the book. Right, so Dane says, right, come into my tent. He's got the big war tent like you see on Game of Thrones or whatever, with a table set up. And he pulls a map out and he says, right, this is a map of the domain. Right, and as if by magic, you're gonna like it. Not a lot, but you're gonna like it.
Oh no, not Agamori. Can we leave now?
This is the map that he pulls out. Right, it's quite a big. It's quite a big map, so you may have to scroll around a bit.
So there's North Bog, Great Bog, Wisecut, Horngate.
Right, is everybody zoomed in now?
Yes.
On my spot where I've just zoomed the thing.
Yeah.
Where?
It says Agimo.
No.
Agamori.
And then I just do the studio control.
Something fort.
Oh, Duke's Fort.
Right, this is where we are going to build the fort.
What, next to a bog?
It's not right next to the bog, it's on the river.
All right.
The bog's on the other side. Right.
There's going to be a lot of flies.
This is to scale. Again, I've spent some time scaling this so you can actually use a ruler if you want and measure distances. So from Horngate to Duke's Fort is 28 kilometers in a straight line.
Yeah, you're a clever.
But you can't go that way because you'd fall off the blatant cliff.
Unless we have gliders.
He says this is the area thing. He says again, I'll reiterate, right? It's not great land. It's out of character. It's kind of like the Wild West, you know, where people were assigned land plots, and then you got your town built up, and then you got citizens who got their own little land plots to make farms and things. This is what they've done. They've got the arsehole of the universe. It's kind of shaped like an arsehole. They've stuck rouse in it and went, there you go and colonise this land.
You know the thing with the arsehole of the universe? Should never just pass through it.
And unfortunately, you lot are the cowboys. Right. He says,
You've got that right.
He says, right, firstly, I'm pleased to have you aboard. You all look like interesting and competent people. He says, our route first takes us to Horngate over the Long Dry, which is over here to the left. If I control click, does that?
Yeah. Could not just go down the river?
No, he says, because the Duke needs to go into Horngate, and the Duke's going to stop off there, and he's going to go to the slave markets to buy some slaves for the slave labour for the fort. He'll appoint a second commander under me, or you can elect a leader from among yourselves.
Kane.
Hmm?
He's the leader.
He says, fortunately, it's in the last week of sea season and the trip shouldn't be too much of a burden because otherwise it'd be a massive desert. At Horngate, the Duke and a couple of bodyguards will find the slave labour and we will push on. We will circle the domain, we will inform the inhabitants that we are coming to stay and shall expect that the honours and respect due the Duke are his. As the Duke's representatives and therefore as agents of the Duke, we will administer minor justice, being sure to deal fairly with all concerned, whatever his race or cult. Do you have any thoughts on that?
The locals know they're getting invaded, right? Because the thing is, now don't take offence at this because it's just an outsider's view, obviously. But are we going to pitch up and say this bit's ours, well his, and do we should tell it or else?
Right, well,
we're going to do it like polite.
Well, more or less, yes. The Duke's land.
Okay, and swing from that tree.
The Duke's land was assigned by the lunar government. The lunar government controls all of Prax, so therefore these.
And they're very popular.
So therefore these locals, shall we say, should respect the proper government paperwork.
Yeah, about them locals. You know the blokes who ride around on the different types of animals? They don't strike me as respecting paperwork type of people. They strike me as sort of our big lad will beat up your big lad and whoever wins the paperwork.
He says, now yes, that is true, and we will try and respect local customs as much as possible. So we would get our own big lad to beat up their big lad, and then he smiles at you lot and goes, guess who the big lads are in this situation?
Well, that'll be him. I'll point at Kane. He does that quite a lot. Usually cuts people's feckin' heads off, though.
Yeah, well, this shouldn't cross me.
Don't worry about that. We're quite handy at that sort of thing.
Right, he says, our route will now first take us to the Wise Cut. Does that zoom in on the Wise Cut for you?
To caves.
Yeah.
Close enough, though.
Close enough. To the Wise Cut, to the Agamorai. They're a proud, warlike people and could make good allies for us. From there, we will travel to the Bilos Gap, to the Morakanth, which is riding south to there. Yep. There we will meet the Morakanth. Although they are non-human, they are a populous tribe, one of the 5 great tribes of Prax, and must not be antagonized. We'll descend into the Bilos Gap and into the valley and cross the Riddle of Cradles, what's called the Easy Ford. Is that zooming in on everybody?
Nope.
Nope.
No, but I know where Easy Ford is.
How about that?
Yeah, so down past the South Bog, then up past Five Eyes. Or we're going up through the Stone Tower and the Eyes Rise.
Once across the river, we must pass south of the Five Eyes Cliffs and proceed up to the Eastern Highlands. There we will scout the Stone Tower of Nosferal. It is reputed to be the home of a vampire, but the vampire has not been reliably reported in 50 years. That would be the Stone Tower.
Okay.
You lot don't really like vampires. Not that anyone particularly likes vampires, but they're particularly bad
They
Yes.
for you. Right, okay.
He says, from there, we'll proceed.
Not big fans of the whole death rune thing, are they?
Yeah, after we
No.
verify whether there's a vampire there, we will proceed north to the Condor Crags. It says that many great condors live in them, and we have done from the god time. In a case, it might be ideal as watchtowers if any of the crags are climbable. I don't know whether that is letting me zoom you over to where it is.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
From there, we will proceed to Weiss, which is a small village, and you get to acquaint yourself with the lowest form of citizen His Grace has to rule over until the lunar farmers arrive next year. It's a small village, there's nothing to do, and Earl, there's no Illyria temple.
You'll be lost.
From Weiss, we will go to the site of the fort and the new village we call Romegarth, which is the
Sounds
Duke's
like
fort.
so basically we're going to do a swing patrol of the area.
Yes, it's a meet and greet, if you will. He says that is all of the information I have. Is there anything that I can elaborate on, or is there anything any of the peoples that I've mentioned that you need to know about? I'll give you as much information as I have.
Okay, if we're in a situation where it's a bit touch and go, it's sometimes quite hard because, you know, like the locals might be quite upset with us and want to kill us anyway, and it might be bad if we get into like a fight with them. So if you can do the whole nod your head if we should kill them and shake your head if we should not kill them, that would be very handy.
I'll do my best. However, the Duke does value independent thinkers, so he will probably be. It's always a test, basically.
Oh, great!
We're
great at tests.
He's a generous man, but he does like competent people who can take care of themselves.
Act on their own. Yeah.
That's fine. We're brilliant at that.
You can now see why he's over the moon that Andy's coming along, as there's lots of rivers and bogs. Andy, not only are you great at swimming, in swamps you can generally walk over swamps, whereas lesser races can't.
I've got the right sort of faith.
You have.
Well, do you not know there's a duck secret to called swamp running that he can teach other people, which is awesome. That basically means that he teaches people how to strap planks to their feet.
Also, it says, right, the Duke can equip you with the arms and armour of a medium infantryman or a light cavalryman. Again, the cost will come out of your wages if you need any of that.
Do I wear a uniform? Because they're quite nice. Like maybe a tabard or like maybe a headdress of some sort. Like a headdress would be very nice.
Yeah, you'll be provided with tabards. So he says, is there any other questions about the people I might have mentioned? Or
No.
because I know for a fact a lot of you don't know what these names mean.
Oh yeah, but I mean, as with everything we've ever done, is we
go in blind and
we deal with it when we get there. I mean, that seems to have worked in the past for us.
Well, it'll be fine. What could go wrong? We'll just do as we're told and independently think our way out of extraneous situations, while keeping the Duke's reputation as a man of character and generosity upheld at all times. We're not at all going to make a right feckin' mess out of this.
No, not at all. All you've got to do is do as you're told, keep your heads down. Don't bring any undue attention to Alan.
Right. Oh, yes, him.
So basically, what happens is you set out, you actually get a spare mount as well, so that you can switch between them. There's Caravan, there's wagons filled with food and water. There's that weird caravan. The Duke comes out on his big white horse, and you finally get to see him. He's a bearded man. He looks like he can handle himself. He's an ex-lunar officer, so he carries his sword, and he obviously knows how to use it. It's the pommel's worn where it's being used quite a lot, and he rides with his bodyguard, and he rides next to the covered wagon thing that you've never seen before.
All right.
So basically, you ride south, and I'm going to put you on the map, and that is where we will call it for tonight. And then next time,
we're gonna get into trouble because that's
I
all we know
will
how to do.
practice riding, and I will always also have Alan practice riding, because I figure for future uses, being able to ride might be useful. If that stupid tart doesn't get him killed beforehand, it would be all good.
I see. The problem we have with the party symbol is it's kind of tiny.
It's a very big map. Oh, I can see us. Have we got a Union Jack? That looks like... Whoa! We got big.
Wow!
Oh,
We're
yeah.
massive!
So there you go. Next session, we move into the Borderlands, cowboy style.
Hey!